Hi, I'm Al from the Money Study, bringing you another episode in our You and Your Superannuation series. And we're up to episode number 6. And this one's all about contribution spouse splitting, being able to make a contribution to your super fund and then have that money then transferred to your partner's account. Is it useful? Let's find out. But before we do, here's the disclaimer. It's all about facts and figures. It's information. It's not advice in this episode. Okay, now there is this thing called contribution spouse splitting, and some super funds will allow you to do this. Now, not all super funds will indeed allow you to do a spouse split. So if you're thinking about it, you might need to move, or you might need to move to the same super fund as your partner. Not necessarily, but this comes down to whether the super funds that you've got will allow this thing called contribution splitting. And what you're allowed to split is you can generally apply to split your contributions with your spouse at the end of each year. So you're doing it on an annual basis and you're only splitting the contributions for the year. You're not splitting what's already in there. You can't move if your partner had 300,000 and you had 500,000. You couldn't be moving 100 grand or something from yours into hers. It's literally moving what you have put in the year, and it's not all contributions. It's basically you can apply to the fund to split your employer contributions and any personal concessional contributions made during that income year. So you can't just drop 100,000 as a non-concessional and then later on move that across. No, it's only on concessional contributions, so salary sacrifice or where you've claimed a tax deduction, and any employer contributions, they are what can be moved across as a spouse split. Now to do it, you fill out a form from the ATO website. It's an NAT 15237 form. You can probably get that from your fund as well as the ATO. And as I say, the fund has the discretion to allow it or not allow it. And so if you're planning to split any part of your contribution with your spouse, you also want to, and you want to claim a tax deduction on it. So let's say you are doing a contribution, you're claiming a tax deduction on it, then you've got to get that form in. You've got to claim the tax deduction from your super fund and get that form in before you apply to do the split. So the super fund has to know it's a concessional contribution first to let it split. Otherwise, they won't do it because it's not a concessional contribution. So you've got to get your forms in, make it a concessional, and then apply for the spouse split using that other form at the end of the financial year. Now, a contribution split with your partner is called a contribution splitting super benefit, and it's treated as a rollover. So it's not impacting on your partner's contribution caps and so forth. So in theory, if they were already contributing up to the cap of concessional contributions of $27,500, it doesn't matter that you're now doing this contribution split, because it's not classified as an extra contribution for them. It's literally just a rollover. It's effectively like they've had another super fund that they've rolled the money in from. So accordingly, splitting your contributions with your partner does not reduce the total contributions made for you or change their characteristics for the purpose of your contributions cap. So for example, if you make a personal contribution and you claim a tax deduction for it, that will count towards your concessional contributions cap for the year, even if you then split it and give it to your partner later on. So it's not counting towards your partner, it's counting towards your cap. So if you're capping yourself out, you can't reduce that by doing a split across to your partner. So it all comes down to what can you do. You fit it within your own limits, and then once it's done and classified as a concessional, then the money can be split. Now, what's all the benefit of all the splitting anyway? It can come down to just trying to equalise the accounts, so that, I say, one partner might have quite a large account and the other person doesn't have much, and so it's just sort of nice to equalise. There's no true benefit in doing that as such. in the regard, especially if you're looking for Centrelink benefits, they just take it on your combined anyway. But it could be a case that the partner has got getting up towards their total super balance, so they're going to hit this 1.9 business. So they are putting money in, getting tax deductions, but their super fund's growing to a point where, we're going to hit this limit, which could restrict me from further non-concessional contributions. Therefore, what I put in concessionally, I'll split to move across to my partner so that I don't hit this cap too soon. So it gives you a little bit more flexibility to move the money between partners in that situation. Could also be quite good if there's a difference in age between the two partners. It could be a situation that our younger partner is the one that's doing the contributions to an older partner. The reason being is obviously preservation. So a 30-year-old could be making contributions to a 50-year-old partner, knowing full well that the 50-year-old will get to their preservation age at 60, 20 years before they will. So effectively what it means is their contributions are moving across into the partner, but the partner can get them 20 years earlier, so that therefore that younger person may be able to retire earlier because effectively their super's gone across to the older person and they can access it. So there's just different ways of looking at this as what's the benefit of having it in my partners? Is there any benefit in having it in my partner? Because of thresholds, because of age, because of preservation and so forth. So yeah, a lot of different things there. It can be quite a useful tool in many cases, depending on your own situation and your couple, your partner situation there as an overall couple. Happy for you to come and have a chat with us, sit down and we'll work out is there any benefit or not in your scenario. Look forward to talking to you on a future session.